By speaking to the panel here in studio. Again, Marjan Hussein Marjan is the Chief Executive Officer of the IEBC. Moses Sunkuli is the Director responsible for vote registration and electoral operations. And Crispin Oguia is the Director for Legal Services of the institution. CEO, good to see you, the three of you here. But first, help us understand, what exactly have you been doing the last 2 years without commissioners?
Thank you very much, Sam. It's good to be with you here. The last 2 years have been very, very difficult, especially after the commissioners left the last 3 batch in January 2023. As you are aware, Sam, just before that, we had completed the post-election evaluation. And this to us was to kickstart our roadmap to start the transformation process. So after the exit of the commissioners, we already had few of the issues that we wanted to look for that we were able to learn from the 2022 general elections. So we started in earnest doing the legal reforms.
Right.
Usually before the election and during the elections, the efficacy of the legal, the laws are tested. So when there are gaps in those laws, then we try to see how they can be fixed through amendments.
Right.
We proposed several amendments. We've met several stakeholders, including even NADCO, Parliament. We've suggested various proposals. This is some of the things that we have done. Over and above that, there are many transformational processes that are required, especially in terms of strengthening our processes. So we've been looking at our policies, where there were gaps and how to strengthen them. We have handled many management papers to actually look at those processes. Over and above that, we thought that just sitting and waiting for the commissioners is not enough. So we've started also in earnest developing our draft strategic plan for the period 2024-2029. We have reviewed the previous strategic plan. And from there, from the lessons learned, we'll be able to, and also from the observation of the post-election evaluation from various stakeholders, including the observer missions,
right,
we've been able to come up with a draft. We want to believe that when the commissioners come, we can be able to bring them to speed very fast in terms of what needs to be done, now that we are losing time. But over and above that, we've done also so many other things, including preparation for the by-elections.
Okay. We
already have our plans in place. As we continue, the numbers have been increasing. I think even this year, I think there is an MCA that was lost. So we are looking at 13 MCA position and 3 MNA position, Member of National Assembly.
Right.
So we've been prepared. Everything is ready. We just want to put the numbers, get the resources, and do the by-elections. Over and above that, we've also started looking at the review of the specifications for our materials for the elections. So there is quite a lot of things that we are doing at the moment.
We'll get to that.
Yep.
So for the Member of National Assembly, there's that extra one for the nominated Member of Parliament when John Buddy went to become a Cabinet Secretary. So you're still not able to gazette a replacement?
Not yet. That is a matter that is disputed. So that one we'll be able to talk about it later. I think I will ask my Director Legal to speak about it.
Okay.
But it's one of the issues that is in contestation. We'll be able to...
Now that you're already here, so Crispin, tell me, because ideally the law allows just about 21 days to gazette a new name, and when parties are going to the election, they present party lists, man and woman. Now, since John Buddy was appointed to the cabinet, there has been no replacement. What exactly should happen? Because the list is already with you as the commission.
Thank you, Sam. It is true that the list is already with the commission, but we have a constitution that governs electoral processes, and under that constitution, Article 90 clearly stipulates that party list allocation is an election.
Right.
And if you look at the mandate of the Commission, the overarching mandate is conduct of elections. So the elections that are conducted by the commission are either elections under universal suffrage, conducted through the vote, or party list allocation. And because this is a mandate of the commission, that is the commissioners and the chairperson, the secretariat cannot arrogate itself the responsibility of allocating the party lists. Sam, this is a matter that has been litigated, and the High Court has pronounced itself on the distinction of functions as between the commissioners and the secretariat. I want to cite a case at the Taita Taveta High Court, that is Anne Wamboi versus IEBC, and the interested parties are Wiper Party and the County Assembly of Taita Taveta.
Right.
And the court, that is specifically Justice Dulo, stated that there is a very clear distinction between the commission and the secretariat. The secretariat headed by the commission secretary. Though related, the roles are distinct. And he went ahead to then refer to the provisions of Section 11A of the IEBC Act that clearly spells out that distinction. So that, by and large, is the reason why the secretariat cannot delve into the responsibility of allocating party lists. Ours is to offer technical advice to the commissioners, but the commissioners sit and conduct that election through allocation of the party list.
Allocation of the party list. So you're saying, in short, that you cannot gazette a replacement of John Buddy?
Certainly, as the secretariat.
So what happened with the appointment of new deputy governor in Uasin Gishu and, was it Kisii County? Well,
in Kisii County, the commission clearly stated its position based on a reading of the Constitution and based on a reading of the Elections Act. But being dissatisfied, then the county government of Kisii and the governor proceeded to court and obtained orders directing the commission secretary to gazette. You see, this is now an order in personam directed to a person to gazette, so that if that person fails to then obey the order of the court, then he may be cited for contempt. So that is the reason why the commission secretary, having been directed by the High Court to gazette, and in that case, the High Court reasoned that gazettement is an administrative function, so distinguishing itself from the judgment in Taita Taveta. Remember, these are courts of same status. The High Court is one, it only sits in different places. So these are conflicting judgments on the same thing, but giving diverse opinions and views.
And there has been no appeals in both instances?
There has been no appeal. Therefore, it may be necessary for the Court of Appeal ultimately to resolve that matter and settle the law.
And for the case of Uasin Gishu?
The case of Uasin Gishu is a similar case, although the commission did not gazette the deputy governor, because the commission then interrogated the judgment and found that the orders were not quite specific. And in any event, the court issued orders in the alternative that should the commission not gazette, then the county government of Uasin Gishu would be at liberty to proceed and have the deputy governor sworn in. Okay. And that's what happened in Eldoret.
Okay, all right. Now, for you, Moses, so one of the key functions that IEBC is supposed to carry out is the registration of voters. Since voter registration was suspended by the previous Wafula Chebukati Commission, has there been any registration going on?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Thank you for having us here today. And it's a very good opportunity for us to also interact with Kenyans and educate them and offer insight as to what we've been doing. And yes, you've rightly said that voter registration was suspended just before the general election of 2022. And then with a resumption date set for March 2023. However, the resumption date was set with an assumption that there will be continuity, there will be commissioners to then proceed and do what they are supposed to do in as far as voter registration is concerned, and that is their oversight, their strategy, and providing policy around the process. But come March, as you all are aware, then we didn't have commissioners again to jumpstart the process. So once again, we found ourselves stuck, and we were never able, therefore, to proceed to start the process of voter registration. It's important to understand that voter registration, or rather the process of making the register, is really the foundation of a credible election. That is where we begin preparing for a free, fair, and credible election. Right. But we have not been able to do that, though the law is very clear that voter registration is continuous, and Kenyans are supposed to immediately after the back and forth of the petition is done, Kenyans are supposed to walk into any registration center and get registered as it's supposed to be their right. However, that has not happened. Of course, we apologize for that, but time is all is not lost. We're looking forward to the resumption of the same as soon as we have commissioners. We have everything is in place. We have done, like the CEO has said, we have done our concept papers, we have done our programs are ready, our staff is in place. We have every constituency with the staff in post and prepared to undertake this process. So therefore, we also have our voter registration system, that is the technology, ready. So basically what we have done is we have done what we can do as a secretariat to prepare for this process, so that as soon as we have the new commissioners in place, then this process will kickstart. Thank you.
CEO, what exactly do commissioners do to make a process right, such that even if there was a resumption date of March 2023, you couldn't restart the voter registration because you don't have commissioners?
Thank you, Sam. Just like what Sunkuli said, the process was halted by a gazette notice by the commissioners. The assumption is that by March 2023, it would resume again. The resumption is supposed to be done through a gazette notice. And that gazette notice cannot be done by anyone other than the chairperson of the commission. So we find ourselves in a very, very awkward position. And because of this, we sought even advisory of the Attorney General, whether as Secretariat, we can be able to do those activities articulated in Article 88, sub-Article 4. And the answer to that question was no, a big no. And the Attorney General actually cited EACC as one of the entities that actually survived for 9 months without commission. But all that they did was actually rendered null and void. So with that advisory, we said that let us just do what we can at the moment in preparation for the upcoming of the commission. Once they join us, then we can actually now continue the process.
Interesting. And of course, there's been this lingering question, CEO, about the clearance of Professor Kithure Kindiki that he was qualified to be a deputy president, and saying that that communication came from your office. Who signed off that communication?
I'm sorry, Sam, to say that this is a matter that is actually being canvassed in court. As a commission, we subscribe to various core values. Amongst them is adherence to the rule of the law. So I think it will not be fair when the matter is being discussed for now to actually talk about it. And this advisory, I think it can be confirmed by my legal advisor here, who would basically say that I think it will not be good because some, it may give others advantage and also disadvantage others. But
really, I think it's a question of fact.
Yes, but
did you sign off communication confirming that Professor Kithure Kindiki is qualified to be Deputy President?
What I can assure you that whatever we did was actually in accordance with the law.
What did you do?
That one you cannot be able to discuss. Some. I've already stated that.
No, you're telling me that whatever you did is within the law, but you're not telling me what you did.
Because the matter has still been discussed in court.
But you know what you did?
Of course.
What is it?
I'm not going to discuss that. I've already stated some. And I maintain my position that for something that has been canvassed in court, I think it will be very unfair for it to be discussed. I'm sorry for the viewers and also for yourself, but we want to abide with the rule of the law.
Well, that's quite interesting. But Crispin, is it a possibility that a commission without commissioners can actually make such a confirmation, even if it's for another seat?
Well, I am an advocate, and I adhere to the rule of law, and I have tremendous respect for the institutions that adjudicate legal matters, that interpret the Constitution, and that interrogate judicial administrative actions. And therefore, it would fall foul of the sub judice rule to actually delve into a discussion on a matter such as this that is before the court, because then it removes that matter from the ambit of the judiciary to either where we are seated or to the public domain. It is unfair even to the judicial officer who is hearing the matter. It would be ill-advised to comment on that.
So, away from that, is the commission as currently constituted able to process candidates for an MCA seat?
As presently constituted, processing of candidates for an MCA election is conducting an election. And therefore, because Article 88(4) is very clear on the mandates, and that is one of the mandates, registration of candidates for election. It is a preserve of the commission.
The commission meaning commissioners?
Commissioners, precisely.
So you cannot nominate candidates for MCA seat without commissioners?
We cannot register candidates for election.
But the commission can do whatever it did in respect of a deputy president candidate?
Well, Sam, I don't want to go there. I stated very clearly.
No. I'm not asking you to talk about what is in court. I'm asking about what the CEO confirmed, that the commission did whatever it did within the law. So that can be done without offending the law, but you cannot nominate candidates to an MCA seat?
We cannot nominate candidates. We can't register candidates for any election unless we have commissioners in post.
Okay, that's quite clear. So we're taking a short break here, and we'll get to more questions, and of course we'll be speaking to the questions you've shared with us on Facebook as well as on X. We'll be sampling some of them. There's so much to cover, all the questions about the by-elections themselves, the delimitation of boundaries, what happens, and also we saw a judgment coming from a high court in Garissa saying that IEBC and other institutions should not use the census of 2019 data to do whatever they can do. What does that mean for the Commission in the future of boundaries review? Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.